guys, welcome back to my channel. So we have another juicy story time for you guys, right? So I decided to tell you guys, as you guys can tell by the title, to tell you guys about the time I literally traveled for my first date, right? I am already getting nervous just thinking about what happened. It was unbelievable. So I met this guy a couple years ago. I met this guy and we basically met in person at first, and we spoke and we had like a good chat and whatnot. Like we could tell that we were vibing each other, but it just so happened that he had to leave the following day to go to the UK. So after he left, he and I kept in touch via WhatsApp, etc., right? And we spoke like nearly every day, all through the day, all night long. We'd be talking and whatnot. Sorry, I'm just watching my PC. All night long we're chatting and everything is going good, and he told me he wants to take me seriously and he seriously wants something with me, etc., etc. But I'm not really paying much attention because I've been in long distance relationships before and I know they don't really work out. So he told me that he wants to be with me and all that jazz. And whole while I'm thinking in the back of my mind, well, this nigga is probably playing me for the fool. He probably has a woman over there wherever he is. He probably has a woman with him. So why am I even bothering myself? We've never been out or anything. So I decided to take another guy seriously. What I mean is that, right, there was this guy that I was talking to in St. Lucia, and he and I went out on a couple dates already and we were kind of getting close. So I told, let's call him Joe, the long distance one. I told Joe, the long distance one, that I think I'm gonna take, let's call the other one, I don't know, what should I call him? Ash, the one in St. Lucia. I told Joe that I'm going to take Ash seriously instead because he's right there. He's giving me a lot more energy than you, and you're giving me hot days and cold days. And one day you're all bubbly and nice with me, and the next day you're just in a mood and you don't know what to do. So I told him I'm going to give Ash a try instead because I was single at that point in time. So I figured, why not go with the guy that's in St. Lucia when you don't even know if the one overseas is ever going to make it? So that night I told Joe that. Joe got, I don't know, he got kind of super attached. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he just got like a little upset, but at the same time, it was like he was already so attached to me and he felt like he couldn't do without me and all that jazz. So I told him, but it doesn't make sense. I'm not seeing you. I'm not going to physically spend time with you. We've never been on the first real date. We only met like once and we spoke for like, let's say about an hour or two tops, and then you left Ireland the following day. So I never got time to really get to know you. So it makes no sense for me to not give Ash a chance when you're not even here. I don't know if you're overseas with another woman and you're just playing me for the fool. So I told him that. He said, okay, fine. And I saw he went a little distant for a little while. So I figured, okay, well, maybe he's just accepting it. Then he told me, check your email. So I'm like, what? He said, check your email, babe. I checked my email and I'm seeing I'm on the next flight out the following morning. So I was to leave for the UK at like, what was it? I think the flight was at around 4 o'clock. In the, not morning, evening, in the evening, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's the time the flight was leaving. I was like, what? He's like, yes, it's already paid for, so you're coming to see me tomorrow. We're gonna go on our first date. I was like, sorry, what? Like, I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, I was like, no, this nigga is kidding. This is a joke. It's a prank. I don't believe it. So and it's a legit ticket, legit coming from Virgin Atlantic. And I'm like that had never happened to me before. I come from a small island. That shit doesn't happen to small island girls. Like, what? So I said, okay. I told my mom, like, I couldn't really explain to my mom what was going on. I told her I had, because I worked, at that time, I worked as a personal assistant. So I told her I had a work trip and I was going to Antigua for a couple days. And I left. The following morning, well, that night, I started packing my shit. I was like, oh my gosh, Elle, are you really doing this? Like, you don't know the man too well. All you have to go by is that you met him like for about 2 hours. Yes, I was speaking to him from like, we met in December, right? And we spoke until like May. And in May, he sent me the ticket. So I spoke to him every single day until May. So I felt like, okay, maybe I know him, like, but all I know is what he's sent me via message. So should I really, you know? But I figured, what do I have to lose? So I packed my shit. I told mommy I'll be back. It was just for a week. And the following day, so I told my coworkers that I had to leave. You know, I had something came up, so I'll be out for however long. And I left. I went to Western Union to collect the money that he sent for me. Yes, he sent me a couple $1,000s. I went to pick it up. And when I got home, I had to leave the north for 1 o'clock to get down at the airport to catch my flight on time. So he told me, he told me there will be a taxi will show up to pick you up at 1 o'clock. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm going to send my taxi to collect you. And he's going to take you to the airport. And from there, you check in, board the flight, etc. And I will see you on the other side. I was like, okay. Yo, by that time, I am nervous as hell. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to be trafficked? Am I going to die? I don't know how this is going to go. I'm still super young. What am I going to tell my mother? You know? So, get to the airport. The taxi picked me up from my house, took me to the airport, get there, and checked in and everything, got on the flight. And I'm on the flight the entire 8 hours from St. Lucia to the UK. And I'm nervous as hell. I am literally up. And I have like an entire aisle, an entire row of seats to myself, and I'm up and I don't know what to do for 8 hours. I'm just here listening to music, watching movies, nervous as hell, looking up trafficking this and trafficking that. Yo, I was a mess. When I get to the UK now, I get there and you guys will not believe what happened.